It's halfway through this year's Cannes Festival of Creativity, and I'm joined today by Rich Denney. He's the Joint Chief Creative Officer at London-based independent ad agency St. Luke's. We're sitting here on. Yeah, nice to meet you too, Rich. We're sitting here on the beach, but there's a lot of work going on across this beach and in the Grand Palais as well this week. Among that is this talk about a possible crisis in creativity. How do you see that?
I tell you what's interesting. I mean, I suppose my question would be: Is it a crisis in creativity, or is it a crisis in marketing first and foremost? I mean, look, economically, it's tough times. There's lots going on. There's lots of nervousness around us moving forward.
So where does that nervousness come from?
I think obviously we've got an election coming up. We've got things like that happening. So I think budgets, money, finance, where to put your money, sensitivities around spend. So I think, and obviously that's been around for a fair while. Obviously, with the wars going on, coming out of COVID. I think for the creativity point of view, I think. The brands that believe in creativity and strong ideas, consistency, brand building are the ones that survive it. I mean, it's no cliche. If you look at some of the biggest brands out there, if you look at things like McDonald's, if you look at like Pedigree and the work that we're seeing here, consistency over a number of years enables them to do groundbreaking work where creativity is at the heart of it. And I think, for me, that's clients that believe in their agencies, that they believe in their partnerships, they believe in their strategic propositions. They believe in brand worlds, building brand worlds, which is one thing that St. Luke's is all about. Consistency. If you're not consistent and you're not visible, it's easy. It's easy to disappear or be unnoticed. And I think that's the thing that's more scary than others. When I come to Cannes, what I get is like an energy boost of creativity. It shows me that creativity is live and well, and real imagination, I think, and inventiveness and pushing it. And why stuff like this wins is because you've got great creative agencies, you've got great, media, PR, it's all the very best of everything, working with their clients and their partners to do something that they believe in. And I think that's ambition as a play in that, and a true belief that strong creative work is effective and sells and works, and it does. So I think from a crisis point of view, it's tough, but the brands that come here, the agencies that come here, the people that come here enter work, put their work in, believe that actually the very best in class creative work is effective and does work, and that's got proof. I mean, look at some of the pieces of work that we're seeing today. I mean, some of the things this is what I love about coming here. Even looking at the work globally, whether or not we're a UK-based agency, from a creative perspective, I'm always looking at work worldwide because it inspires me. I can share it with my creatives. We might have ideas that these are proof of point that actual idea works and can be achieved. So I can then take that to our clients, I can take that to our creative departments, and I can inspire them and our teams to think like that. Or that's ambition. That is literally, you're sitting right on the top shelf. If we can be like that, you can be like that, then we can get success.
And the conversations you're having though this week, I mean, is that the kind of message that you're picking up and that you're getting across? And that there's a lot of big brands here, so is it evident to them?
I think. I mean, look. Let's use the Grand Prix piece of work in Out of Home for Pedigree. The adoptables, and AI plays a part in that as well, which is really interesting. That isn't a one-off from that brand. Pedigree have been behind adoption for a number of years now as part of their purpose. For them, they believe in obviously giving nutritional food and treats and whatever it is to dogs, but actually they care about dogs so much that actually they don't want dogs in adoption, they want dogs in homes, because dogs in homes are in happy homes and dogs are looked after, and that's their part of their business that can provide for them. But that wasn't just a one-off stunt, that's part of their idea, that's part of their purpose, that's part of their tone of voice. And they've actually got, if you think about the yellow and the packaging, they've got a brand world, they've got a distinct brand world there. So, it's no surprise when you see them tipping up year in, year out, winning awards, because they're looking for different ways to impress, to get further reach and earn media and everything like that. So that's consistency. That's a client that also believes in that idea with their agency, believes in the power of that to go, where can we take this next? How can we push this next? And I think what you will then see is other pet care brands, if you like, looking at it going, well, how can we do that? Well, come down here and look at it and see how it can be done. And it happens. You look at Unilever versus Procter & Gamble. Look at brands like that. These big brands, they know that creativity sells and can be successsul.
So talking about creativity selling, some of the themes within the creative process itself. For the first time ever, well, you're a Cannes Awards judge this year. Not this year. Oh, not this year. You have been before. Well, this year, in case you didn't know, there was a new category called humour. And some people might be surprised that actually we need a category called humour. So is it okay for ads to be funny again?
Do you know what? The one thing, and I've been coming to Cannes for 27 years, so a long time.
You don't look that old enough to be able to be coming that long.
I know. I won a gold lion in my first year, 27 years ago, so I came here. But the thing that was brilliant then, and now I sound like a bit of an oldie, we look forward to the show reels coming out of what work was coming up, and Shots did a magazine and they published predictions on things. The one thing that we always looked at was humour. Humour globally, some of the most successful campaigns, and humour works because I remember these campaigns today, not just because they won here, because they were funny. If I go back and I think about Little Caesars Pleasers, out of America, or I think about Cup the Noodle from Nissin. These were high-end comedy from, culturally different in their ideas that travelled all the way to here to a festival and won awards.
So it's not just a British thing, humour, is it?
No, of course it's not. I think, there's different, there's tonally things or script and copy and stuff like that can be different. And does it translate? Majority of it is, and I think if you think about platforms like Netflix and stuff like that, and some of the very best shows out there right now have used like dark humour and stuff like that we're all in love with. So I think we're more susceptible to international comedy from an international scale. But I think, I'm surprised they didn't do this award show years ago. This awards category years ago, because it is something that we celebrate. I think the one thing that I do like about it is that belief that actually humour can play a role in the success of a brand. Look at Mike Cesario's Liquid Death. What a great example. A purpose-driven brand which doesn't make you cry with sadness. It makes you cry with laughter. That's going out there and tackling plastic, but by saying, hang on a minute, water's dangerous. Water kills people. People drown. When he went out with his opening stuff, people drown. You get floods. You get all sorts of stuff. And hang on a minute, using plastic in bottles is not really good. It's not sustainable. So what if we put, water in cans? But then as a creative goes, there's a market for this because everything's all about purification, Evian or whatever it is, Fiji, Mount Water. Whereas he's gone, no, it's dangerous. And then he's got this brilliant brand world. Look at the illustration, it's incredible. The merch off the back of it. And then goes out there and does the anti of everything. Kids, looking like they're getting hammered, but they're actually drinking water. And I think what the story is he put it into research and mums went, absolutely not. And he went, I'm onto something. So then he builds a brand, but he uses humour at the heart of it. Now look at that brand versus a lot of other water ads. That's laugh out loud funny. And that brand is just doing that. That's success. And that's using humour at the heart of it.
Because there is a lot of pressure on brands, though, to toe the line on, current trends, Gen Z trends, stuff like this. So there could be a lot of nervousness around when you meet them, you've got to sell the idea, the creative idea, right? The funny creative idea. Is there a nervousness with brands about that still that needs to be overcome?
Is it a nervousness, or is it when you're looking at your brand? Is it true to the brand's DNA? For example, we've got Butterkist. Okay, so Butterkist popcorn. What is popcorn? Popcorn is a snack.
Movies.
But entertainment. But actually, we pushed it out of that and made it broader. We're going, look, popcorn was born of the silver screen. It's the nation's favourite popcorn. But actually, we don't just go to the cinema now. We're on our screens. We look at what's going on in life, and actually, politics, for example, is more showbiz than the showbiz itself. People are having conversations. So hang on a minute. Everything, life around us is entertaining. Go grab the butter kist. So that's an interesting thing when you can go, there's a court case, Wagatha Christie, let's do a courtroom drawing of our own, go grab the butter kist. We put
that was brilliant. I mean, I have to say that was a brilliant, guerrilla campaign on that.
Yeah, but humour is part of that, and understanding that actually it's a snack. Snacks are there for entertainment. They're there to entertain us as we enjoy the very thing that we want to engage with. I think for brands, it's looking at what their products are. It's like alcohol. If you think about alcohol, alcohol years ago, the brands that were competing from a funny point of view. Why? Because alcohol, you're having a drink, you're relaxed, you're having a laugh. It's entertainment. And the very best beer ads were entertaining.
Do you remember the Joan Collins, Leonard Rossiter, Campari ad? I think they were going to the south of France, weren't they?
I was a baby, but I do remember it. But again, this is exactly what we're talking about: humour, entertainment. But if you think about it, a lot of that was born out of Saturday night entertainment. It was like and even Sunday, TV shows, we're all sitting around, we all want to be entertained, and therefore the ads in that space have to be as entertaining. Look at the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, the biggest sports game in America. So what do those brands have to do? They have to compete. Some of the very, very most successful ones, they're entertainment based. Because we're in this moment, this day is of celebration, it's of entertainment. So you've got to be as funny as the stuff that you're watching, otherwise you disappear. And that's what, advertising used to be definitely 100% all about. It's like, right, we've got a great slot tonight. We're going to be amongst some of the best shows. We better be as entertaining. And the knock-on effect of that is people start talking about your brand. They sign up to your brand. They're all in. They look for the second one. From a Gen Z point of perspective and stuff like that, kids are smart today. They haven't got time for us. So you've got to be quick, smart, and intelligent with what you put in front of their eyes. That's why I love, one of the things, and I'm kind of a bit of an addict with it, is I love reels. I mean, I love looking at what people are putting out there. What I love is that they're putting it out there and it disappears. Some of those brands are starting to jump on the back of that and use it and be as native as they are. And I think that's the thing that you've got to be clever. If you're going to join that space, you can't be traditional in your thinking. You can't be too addy, if you like. Otherwise, you're gone. You're gone. Now, if you can play the game in their space, just like them, you're in. And you've got a really good chance of success. Then the thing is how do you stay consistent with that? How do you build your brand with that? How do you make sure that when they see that colour or that shape or that icon, they know it's you? And that's the challenge.
Okay, final question, and maybe in just one word. What is your trend prediction for this year in the creative process?
So, trend predictions, I think for me, as the trends, the thing that I was coming down here, as far as trends and prediction are concerned, is the trend is, you've asked the question, it's about humour, and I think I'm hoping at the very end of this, we're going to see a lot more humour. I think, it's absolutely brilliant to see creativity used in crisis, so purpose, absolutely. But also, let's see what marketing and the very best advertising can do to sell ice creams, to sell tin pet food, to sell snacks, to sell the stuff that we buy day in, day out. Because when you get that right and using humour, then you are on the path to success. So I'm hoping we see a lot more of it. I think right now we all need more of a laugh. I think if we're being brutally honest, and advertising can actually do that.